So, hi again, everyone. If you haven't looked at the previous segments, I'm Gregory and I'm joining here Mauro. And together we promoting and pioneering the Sacred Gardens Foundation. At this moment in time, what we like to talk to you about is the benefits that you will receive by supporting this incredible fundraiser to acquire this absolute pristine part of the land. And once again, when I mean acquire, it's not in terms of possessiveness, but our ability to be involved in this particular project. But Mari, you would have more to say on that. But also kind of like uh, what is it that people have access to in terms of once they've given the funds that we're looking for in Rising, how can we bless them again in return for their blessing?
I feel that is the way to bless each other is a constant process of learning, like a very organic. Now we learn as we support, as we communicate, as we get to know each other. Because I feel this is already a reward by becoming involved with this process. We are becoming involved with each other, with life. So it's a process of getting to know, and this for me is a priceless thing. But of course, we are thinking constantly of possible ways for you to be rewarded, apart from becoming part of this process, as Gregory has mentioned. It's not about possessiveness, like we're not focusing on becoming owners of a land in the Amazon, but it's more in terms of developing our capacity to look after the lands, to look after each other, to become guardians, more like guardians, carriers, like custodians of the lands. If we, as we are having the opportunity, the permissions, the blessings to become involved with such a project. So one of the possible ways also for you to feel rewarded in this process is I would be offering, and Gregory I believe so as well, part of my time for you to be in contact, for us to possibly have like a Skype sessions, 1 hour Skype sessions to start with, or even longer. That will depend on how much you want to support, and you'll be like an honor and a joy to go into those sessions, where we are able to offer uh, counseling, support, and share our hearts, share our moments, and give specific advice in terms of what is your needs in this very moment, nutritionally, energetically, spiritually. Where that process of communication can take us into different levels of awareness as well. So it's like being open for what the moment will be presented to you. So I think those sessions can be quite a dynamic process of self-development and empowerment.
Perfect. That's beautiful. And I think that is an incredible blessing to have an hour with Mauro, getting across his wisdom, his knowledge, his passion, his open heart, and his ability to tune in deeply, even through the Skype, to you, to assist you to tap into your own self and discover the aspects of yourself that require nurturing, healing, and expansion. Um, so I think that's an incredible opportunity, and anyone would have access to that with the contributions that you make. Also myself, I'll be making myself available for Skype sessions for individuals who wish to identify the areas in the life that hold them back from being the amazing being that each one of us is. And of course, that cannot be done from 1 minute to the next. This is an incremental process, and it's like peeling the onion or expanding gradually into the horizon. So I'm not promising that one session will do the whole work, but what I'm saying is one session can be an absolutely incredible opener. I've been doing this work, and I've been facilitating at a health retreat here in Port Elliot for the last 20 years, plus I've got another 5 and more years experience prior to that. So I'll be utilizing all this background, at least from this lifetime, that I've had in the areas of healing, both shamanic as well as traditional forms, without wanting to restrict healing into a particular paradigm or a particular fashion. But the idea is, how can we reach and identify the areas within yourself that hold you back into becoming the magnificent you that you are. And so those sessions will be available from both of us, Mauro and myself, to you. It will be 1 hour, but like Mauro said, we're not going to be restricting that to the hour. If the session goes, of course, expands, the idea is that that short session of 1 hour, and if we make an agreement to do more, then we will negotiate how that be happening. But you will be getting an enormous amount of insight in terms of how you can tap into yourself, because ultimately healing comes from within, and each one of us is responsible for that.
Can I say something extra? Because the idea is not about like working within time, but it's to develop presence in the present time, to become more and more present. So this is our focus on this path of walking this path, developing presence, being present, appreciating the opportunity that is given each and every moment in our lives, like in each and every breath that we take lies such an amazing amount of power that can be very transformative, also integrative, and also communicative. So once we allow ourselves to be in that space, now it's sometimes embracing aspects of us that we don't know yet, or parts of and certain aspects of us that are needing some kind of care and touch and love, recognition, acceptance. So this is very, very organic, very dynamic, based on stepping into the moment and becoming more available and present to it. So we can do many, many things with our time, which is art as well. So let's co-create art together. And Sacred Gardens Foundation has been created with that, coming from that space of art, from that space of love, compassion, and the attitude of gratitude for all that has been given to us so abundantly, so generously.
So if you feel compelled and you feel that this is your path, this is an enormous value in terms of return, of immediate return, but also what of course become available is the potential as you staying in touch, and each person that contributes will be also placed, into a mailing list potentially, and especially if you contact us directly, then that opportunity will exist. And you can find out as this develops more, and the opportunity perhaps even to visit the lands with special permissions and negotiations, that at the right time would also become available. But in terms about...
And also connection and getting to know different cultures in the Amazon, because I feel myself embracing and deepening this process of my relationship with communities and specific key people in the jungle, like leaders of their groups, and in order to develop this communication, to develop this way of us supporting and caring for each other, and also with the aim of celebrating life. We are here to celebrate, to enjoy the process of living in each and every moment, like to transform that, and the life in the jungle, the communities, the culture, the people there, they have so much to offer in their way, apart from the vibrancy, apart from the lusciousness of the jungle that brings us always that idea of everything is alive, and the jungle can eat you alive as well, so strong that is. But that strength comes also with so much love, harmony, balance. So it's an amazing process of relating to this part of the earth that has been there, you know, for such a long amount of time, but by being so strong that protected itself for longer periods of time compared to other forests, such as in the old continents, you know, European areas that were fully, you know, forested as well in some time in the past. But now those areas, they have wisdom to offer in terms of maybe we should do things in a different way. So the Amazon is like as an opportunity for us to regenerate our ways of connecting and dealing with the daily process and needs of the society, of the civilizations, of the cities, and everything that is involved. Like we want to learn how to integrate this, coming out of this a more romantic idea and getting into like the real deal, hands-on. What can we do? So I feel that this foundation is based on this process of getting more and more hands-on and learning to pay attention, to listen to what others have to say and to what the land have to say to us. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for tuning in. And once again, you know, bear in mind that all of that wisdom is available to us at any one time. And the idea is, which compels us to be involved with the forest, is that connection enables us to be in touch, like Mauro was saying, with that wisdom. And of course, getting in touch with someone who has been there, has had the necessary training or the necessary amount of time that is required to even get a small bit of that information across. It's of absolutely immense value. So I recommend it to everybody highly to book your time with Mauro and of course with myself if you feel that the connection is there. So we both, I believe, looking forward to it, to hearing from you, and hopefully we can get this wonderful project off the ground. We will get it off the ground one way or another, but this is one of our first attempts and extending ourselves out to the world. So,
and how would they book or through the Facebook page?
Yes, so the idea, it's a good question, thank you for bringing that up. So the idea is you contact us through the Facebook page, you make yourself known, you can send it as a private message, and then one of us will pick it up, either myself or Mauro will pick it up. Now there's also a few people in the background that are assisting with this as well. Ali will be another person. So one of us, with other words, will pick it up and then we'll cue you in with a session with the person that you have chosen to. So if it's Mauro, then there will be, you get his Skype address and a time will be negotiated. So like any other appointment, you negotiate the time. And if it's with me, the same thing will apply. We negotiate a time that both of us, irrespective of which part of the world we are in, we find the time that we can connect and we can go through the process of identifying and processing what it is that we require.
And also one of the aspects of the Sacred Gardens Foundation, we have this initial focus on raising these funds in order to finalize the process of purchasing these lands. But then the intention is to turn the foundation into a sustainable project, into a way for you to always have the opportunity to contribute, to help, not just financially but also financially. So it's going to be like we're aiming to create this foundation to be like an open doorway that works in a two-way thing, you know, coming from the investors, supporters, all the ones that would like to contribute somehow, to offer your know-how, your intelligence, your guidance, your insights, you know, your creative ways to nourish the lands, to look after the gardens and to deepen into this process of sacredness in our lives, you know, returning to the sacred ways of living and connecting and relating.
So thank you very much once again for tuning in, and there will be probably more segments as we're moving closer to the closure of this particular fundraiser. But remember to connect with us also on Facebook on the Sacred Gardens Foundation. So many blessings. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Mauro, for being here. What a blessing to have you and be able to share an amazing amount and wealth of wisdom.
Aus.